keep your camera off. But we might get a better recording because there's something about, oh, we lost Susan. Okay. There's something about this format which is flawed.
Well,
I'll try to call her back.
It's not just the format. It's that when you have beings that are fully awakened and conscious all gathered in one place, we have a tendency to blow circuits on satellites and other communication devices and create static in those systems, and as a result, it interferes with communications that you're trying to have between any pair of given individuals for conference calls.
Oops. Wait, I got to do that without sound, okay. There's a way of calling without having the sound, the calling sound. Okay, there we go. I'm trying to get Susan back on. Okay, go ahead, Richard. I'm sorry I interrupted.
Can you hear me?
No, it's okay, because you see, you were addressing an anomaly because Bruce and Susan did not perceive the last pronunciation of TJ's means of sharing the best way to get in communication with her, and I had no interruption whatsoever. This was only experienced in program between TJ, Bruce, and Susan.
Mm-hmm.
Now, it's kind of a bizarre anomaly in a manner of speaking. But again,
can
it
you
shows
hear me?
that there's, yeah, I hear you fine.
Oh, okay.
We can still hear you.
Weird. A lot of people can't hear me or get in touch with me, Janet. I don't know what that's about. Apparently,
we don't know.
Richard has insight. But that's
well,
okay.
if we're speaking cyberspace, you're talking about walls creating themselves and dissolving themselves, and dimensions creating space, and black holes and wormholes and portals all showing up at the same time, and beings from all kinds of different dimensions, like myself, showing up at one time.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
So we can talk multiverses, and we'll have to create those threads. But, apparently different people want to know lower level, what I call three-dimensional thought forms that they're in their reality. It's like a game of life, but there's various paradigms and dimensions and realms. And so we have to do meritocracy, which people don't like to do. But unfortunately, most of the demigods and gods that I've known in the past and in the future and in the now, past, present, future, because there's no space, there's no time, in the photon clouds, of the thought packet consciousness,
I'm well aware
the reality,
of this.
that's what we're all working on, is who we're going to be in the future, is the way it's said. But actually, it's us in the now, and I'm in the future, and I'm in the past, and I'm in the present. And I'm okay with that. But I like being up there at the universal level, and that's the story that Janet wants me to tell. So that's the one we're working on. I work in multi-levels. Just so you know, I'll quote Beta, Alpha, Theta, Delta, Gamma, Sigma, Tau. We use 7 levels, not like you said, just conscious, or you said super conscious, but we were teaching that in the 30s and 40s. But now we're working with people, and that's okay, folks. We're all telling stories, but we are going to use I guess radio for a little while with Bruce and Richard and Susan and Janet, and I guess anybody else Janet invites. But Friday nights, we were both doing this, so I've got TJ Morse ET radio, and I syndicate and have my own
TJ.
bills. And
Yeah, Susan, I don't want to talk finances. Susan is back.
Okay,
back,
Susan, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Let's use the time for productive. Susan, go ahead. Ask your questions of TJ.
Yeah, TJ, what was that address you were given again? And then you said something about once you cross paths with me, and you've crossed my path, and then we had all this trouble after that.
I was going to say, I hope you can stay in contact, because so many people are trying to work at critical mass consciousness in 5G right now, that the radio waves and the microwaves and all the waves we have are all messed up. But please try TJ Morse ET on Skype. I have Google Calendar. Janet needs to make a forum, or I do. I have Blog Talk Radio, and she has Blog Talk Radio. But Susan, I'll be glad to bring you back on my show separate from this one, and we can talk some more. Everybody that wants to interview with me, I'll do that. So I don't know. Janet's the only one, and Tommy, that have ever been able to contact me on this planet and stay with me. Now, Richard
I don't
has
seem
been
to
able
be having
to.
any problem.
I know Richard doesn't have any problem. So, Susan, I guess it depends on.
I'm not really human.
Well, yeah. So, Bruce, I don't think Bruce has ever had trouble. Have you, Bruce?
With what? Communicating with you?
Yeah.
Reaching
No.
her, yes.
Oh no.
Interesting.
Huh.
No,
I've
got her on Skype. I get
Good.
messages from Skype.
Okay, well, let's try that, Susan. And I got a phone number. You want it?
Wait.
You want my phone number? 850-781. 850-781.
Wait a second. I gotta get something to write it down.
You can call me after the show. Janet
Yeah,
can hook
you
you
probably
up
should put that information out independently, privately, rather than putting it on the air.
Yeah, because I've got so many people trying to get me on all my phones, so I apologize, everybody. They've got all the lines tied up to me, and I've had people coming in my house, and they're trying to fix it. Thank you. Janet, just keep us together.
Okay.
Go ahead, Susan.
Yeah, so if you're going to give out the phone, it's going out to everywhere. Do you want to give out your phone, TJ, or do you want to do that on the email? We could do that.
You can give it. You can give it to her. Give it to her off because I'm not sure this one's publicized. All the others are blasted out, full blast.
Yeah, you didn't. It wasn't
Wait a minute.
completely 10 digits
the last four.
visible. It wasn't
all those
completely 10
spammers
digits
would get
visible.
it. All those people that do commercials would get it.
So anyway,
you will no longer have to worry
Wait
about
a minute.
them. But anyway,
I'm having a hard time talking. It's like everybody's talking through me, and then I get cut off. And every time I try to get TJ Morris, I can't get her. Everybody else can get her. Somebody's interfering with me. You're a psychic, TJ.
Are you serious?
What do you think?
So I'm going to mute everybody so you can have the last 5 minutes talking to TJ and ask her your questions. So I'm muting everybody else. Go ahead, Susan. Ask your questions of TJ because we have like 7 minutes or 5 minutes.
Why is it when everybody else can get a hold of you with no problem, I can't? What's going on?
I think the number I gave you is one of the ones I lost. I don't know if somebody came in my house and took them because they were right here by my bed, but somehow they disappeared. So out of 4 phones I own, 1 landline in the house, I've only got the one I'm talking on. And Janet will give that to you so you can call me after. Janet, apparently Susan really wants to talk to me. It's just one-on-one, okay?
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I don't understand. I want to ask you a psychic question.
Oh,
no,
sure.
You're a psychic, right?
Yes, ma'am. I'm an empath, cognitive, a precog. I claim all of that. I'm Cosmos Ambassador. I work on all levels.
Okay.
Beta, Alpha, Theta, Delta, Gamma, Sigma, Tau.
Okay, then, in relation to that, what am I? I'm on the real high councils, right, from the other universe, multiverse, and all that.
Yes, ma'am.
Am I the only one here on the planet for my people?
No, ma'am. I am you. You are me. We are they.
You're my other one. Where are you from? Which universe?
The 7th.
The one I'm from is Fortean or Fortean universe.
I didn't hear that. What? You're a universal being. I can't hear. Can anybody tell me what she's saying?
I can hear her
think you're
totally
speaking
fine.
universal. That's weird. I can't hear her. All right, so it's universal levels. We're having trouble in bandwidth and vibrations and sounds, and that's because the language we speak, Susan, isn't modified. So we've got to speak in our biological. So first of all, we have to accept our biological forms and become humanoids. And then we've got to find each other on the planet. So it's part of the game. and it's not the easiest game I've ever played because they made me a
No.
communication
It's
operator.
not part of a game. It's part of direct interference by the negative ET scourge because they don't want us to connect.
Okay. All right. Well, it's however you interpret it. So I apologize. I don't think it's on my part, Susan, so please don't take it personal. I'm a very open, I'm actually a personality on Facebook, so please connect with me on Facebook. But most of the time people think I'm on Facebook, but I'm not. I'm a developer inside GoDaddy. So I have a probe core, a cPanel, and it's a different level. And then so when I punch buttons in domains, it goes into Facebook. But I'll be more than happy to assist you.
How do I get a hold of you? How do I call you? Do I Skype you? Do I Messenger you? You have an iPhone.
Yeah,
can I Messenger you?
Skype her.
Yeah, you can messenger me.
For now.
Yeah, Janet, please give her my phone number when we get off. Janet has a direct line to you, and when she disconnected us, we got disconnected.
You said okay. Oh,
yeah, I thought you had already exchanged numbers.
No, I couldn't get a hold of her. I called her and I get the answer machine every single fucking time, and it's a mixed garbled up. It's like Happy New Year, like that. All garbled. Happy New Year. That's all I could get out of it every time I try to call you.
Interesting. Okay. It sounds like we're being interfered with.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's exactly what it sounds like.
Okay.
I wanted to ask her. You read the book Masquerade of Angels. I'm getting echo feedback in my voice.
Right. So let's wrap this up because we're out of time anyway. So let me pull on Richard. Final words, Richard. Say whatever you want to say to our listeners.
We thank all of our lovely listeners out there in Cyberland, or from whatever perspective or perception you are perceiving us in. We greet you with love. We greet you with heartfelt warmth, healing, and wish you the highest possible ascension to become your highest possible good in the here and now.
Lovely.
And
Thank you. Bruce, final words to our listeners. Oops, wait. Got to click you on. Sorry. Your mic was off. You're probably talking away. Go ahead, Bruce. Final word.
Open your minds
our listeners.
And open your hearts to new information. That is the time you will grow and ascend.
Thank you. Susan, final words to our listeners.
Get in tune with oneself and trust your gut and your intuition, and don't react to everything that's different with a knee-jerk, fear-mongering, want to attack it kind of reaction. Instead, start interacting with it empathically. Try to sense what the entities and what they are, and don't fall for the sadistic entities that are portrayed in the book called The Masquerade of Angels.
Thank you so much. I want to thank everybody on our panel, Susan, Richard, Bruce, and Theresa. Thank you, listeners, for joining in.
Thank you.
We will be back again next Friday. Actually, it is Christmas special show with Richard Knight.